Hi family, I hope you're good. I hope you're feeling blessed. It's your sister again, Portia Mohau. We continue, family. We continue. Thank you so much for being part of the journey. Thank you for being with me, walking with me. And thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you to all the returning subscribers and the new subscribers. Thank you so much to the passerbys, people that come across the channel and just watch and like. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to press the like button, the share, and the notification bell. Thank you so much, family. Family, today I want to tell you a story of a tenant from hell. With the story, you will know and understand why do I title it that way. Family, to me came a man who had a taxi. This taxi was not in a line for business, but it was doing business. It was not like the other ordinary taxis. And this man was staying in someone's, he was like a tenant. Someone had rooms and he rented out from this room, and he was in that room for about 10 years and he was not planning to get out. So he comes to me and he's like, I came to you because where I come from, where I took he went into a money ritual, and an oath where he was directed to me, and they said, I'm the one who will maintain it. And we obviously know where I came from. Like, they also had student disciples in a sense. So I was one of them, and they told him that I'm the one that has to maintain what he had taken. So family, as he's telling me about what he had taken, he tells me that, okay, I ask him, where were you instructed to bury it? What he has. He says he stays with me in that room and nobody comes into my room. And I was like, okay, what was your sacrifice? And he was like, the 4 girls of that house. Family, I'm as heartless and wicked as him at this point. And I asked him, okay, now what do you want me to do? Because I have to continue to renew and strengthen. Now he tells me that, but there's something that's happening. I'm like, what is it? He says, can you help me? Because I'm not the one who he first gave him the first ritual. I'm just a maintenance engineer, if you have to put it that way. And he's trying to see if I can help him on something that is happening. I ask him, what is it? He says, all the girls are under my rule. One girl is like paralyzed. Second girl is just losing pregnancies, and she's married, and the husband is not allowed to get in. There was something that he did to cause the fight and dispute between their family in order for this man not to come. Men are not allowed in this house simply because of him. And mind you, they are not related. He's just a tenant. So the third girl is someone we can say has no going back and front. I hope you understand. People that you would look at and say, junkie, all that. You understand? Someone without direction. So he had made this particular one useless, beyond repair, in a sense. And then the fourth one was a homebody who was like, there's an introvert, there's someone who's afraid to get out. He had made this girl like an ornament, someone who's not living anymore, someone who's just seeing shadows, someone who's just afraid of. She was not nobody, even the mother. And the saddest part about this was the mother trusted this tenant with everything in her, every problem of her family. She was telling this tenant. So he comes to me and he's like, because the girl who's been turned into a shadow of herself is still, amongst them 2 were like still virgins, and his heart, he's getting money. He's very wealthy from the country of origin where he comes from. But where he's staying, they just see a man with a taxi who is hustling. But they don't know he's a very rich man. And a rich man who is just enjoying through the house where he is renting. So I asked him, what's the problem and what do you want me to help you with? Because I know how to maintain what he has, which I will do because it's my duty as a disciple of where he took it from. So he says to me, I love that girl. I want to marry that girl. Marry that girl, meaning make this girl third wife, because he had two wives who were taking care of his wealth back where he comes from. And one of them, the first wife, knew about his rituals. So he's like, I want to marry the fourth girl. He wants to marry this girl. I'm like, you can't. You already made these people your sacrifice. You can't marry this girl. Baba didn't tell you. You can't do this. You can't cross your own. And he's like to me, can't you put wedding for me to at least take this girl? If I take this girl, I'll be able to own this house, and then I'll be able to have my things stay there, because it was, where he took it. He took it and came straight with it in this house. So, you can't just move it anyhow you want. So, and the family of the landlord were suspicious of him. The landlord's brother was this type of, I don't know how you would call them, like like someone who's not a church goer, but someone with just suspicions. He was just suspecting him, that I don't like this person. Oh, like every time he comes to the place, he used to just make noise outside and be like, Joe, when Joe, when are you going? And he was getting annoyed and agitated by that. And that was a threat and harm to him, even though this man was not. And then eventually this man, on one of his money trying to make schemes, he got shot. He was not a criminal. He was just a man that looked like Ikinza, but he got shot. Why? Because he was suspicious of this man, and he was always asking, when are you leaving? When are you leaving? So he says to me, okay, talk to them for me in order for me to get this woman, marry this woman. Then I will replace my sacrifice. Like, I'll find another woman to replace her in her own, like, bloodline. You understand? I say it's not gonna be possible. Family, this man is a man that watched a family go down for him to go up, a family that he was not related to, a family that he literally destroyed. And there was nothing that anyone could do until family. I am sorry. I know there are many, evil recognizes evil. That's what I will put, in short and in simple term. Evil recognizes evil. What happened was, few streets from where this woman, like maybe 2-3 streets away from this whole house, there was an old man who used to drive a bakkie. So this old man used to pass through that house, and he says this man would pass and to him, and he told me this jokingly, that there's this old man who's always, he just likes me. He thought he likes him. He didn't know that was the old man that was gonna bring him down. And this old man is you will not believe which church he was going to. And family, I know this is my story and I have to tell the truth. This old man was a ZCC member. Then he says one day, this old man came and called the lady of the house. It's like the old man that knew everybody. So the old man came and said, okay, Matlakala, like, where's the lady of this house? Matlakala. And Matlakala was just this soft, nice landlord who came out greeting, greeting this old man. How are you, sir? Calling out his name. I'm sorry I called out names, but family. What happened was, under the tree of a peach, they sat. And as Madala was standing, this lady had offered a bench. But Madala did not sit down. He says he was in his room just peeping, looking at this Madala and the old lady. Because I warned him that you can't go into that girl. Don't do it. You'll just break everything. But he updates me of everything. He's now like my own son, though we are like siblings from where we come from. But now he's like my son because I'm the one with the upper rank. So he's telling me what transpired on that day. So Madala was standing, and the lady Mema Takala offered the bench. Madala didn't sit. Madala is a ZCC member with a white shirt, with his gray khaki type of trousers, wearing a badge. I'm not condoning or promoting anything, but this is who Madala was. But Madala was like almost like an albino, because I asked him, describe this Madala. Madala was born with a very special gift himself, you see, so he could see right through him. That's why he was always doing this. So when he was telling me let me tell you what happened. Madala came and Madala spoke to this landlord, and the landlord was like, and then Madala said to the landlord, I'm going to give you water. Whatever happened there, Madala went inside his van, came out with water, and poured water in the glass that he asked Matlakala to go collect. And then he poured water, and then she drank. After she drank water, Haibo, he left and said, I'm gonna come back, and pointed at the window. Imagine he's peeping. Madala pointed at the window and said, family, Matlakala drank the water. Throughout that day, she was just puking, vomiting throughout. She was like, I don't know what's happening to me, but whatever he gave me, it's working because I feel clean. That's how she was saying it. The following day, she was a different person. She asked him, you have been my tenant for many years. Now you want what? You want to build your own house here. She was like different. You understand, family? And she was starting to say things like, no, you need to prepare now. You need to go. I want to sit down with my daughters. I think some of them must come here. My son-in-law must come here. Family, breaking rules now. My son-in-law must come here and take over. I'm getting very old. I need to sit down with my children. Things were starting to come together. And whatever Madala brought was his distraction. What he did was he went, because these girls were used to him, they loved him and everything. He found himself in bed. He slept with this girl. He broke it. Family, Madala came back. And in his room, nobody used to go. What happened was the landlord knocked on his door. Come here, I want to talk to you. But this time around, she didn't stand outside as usual. She pushed herself in. Family, when she pushed herself in, Madala is coming. And he's here naked with his, that he already slept with the daughter. He is here with his suitcase, a briefcase. And in the briefcase is something that should not be seen. And this woman is here, and he is naked, preparing to take out this thing and put it in the bed. His secret is now seen, exposed by a Madala who used to give him signs. Family, he ran like that, no clothes. He ran. He came to, he found, he grabbed Chitenji, Kaplan. He grabbed the cloth on his way, I don't know where. He found himself to me at my place with his taxi. When he came in and it's this, I asked him, how was Madal? He says he's got white beards. I said, how is his eyes? He explained that he's like an albino. I said, no, he has a gift himself. He saw you and he broke you. You have to take your taxi. Forget about everything that you have in that house. Forget about passport and go straight home. And then you will go to where we came from and explain exactly what happened. Family, people in that house called Umpagat to come and see this. This man escaped by, I don't know, a narrow gate, because he could have been, and he had left his thing there. We don't know how Madala fixed it, but I know that I warned him that don't. And not that he wanted to, because he had heard. But whatever that Madala gave that woman, And him coming to that house and doing that lured him, loosened him, weakened him to end up sleeping with that girl, even though he was not supposed. He was nearly caught, killed in that house. He was caught but escaped. But he left his parcel behind in a briefcase. Family, the love of money is the root of all evil. Family, to be content is one of the best things you can have to enjoy life to the fullest. Family, the devil will never give you money without disgracing you. Be content. Not all that you see outside is genuine and pure. Not everybody, family, even the tenancy contract has to have a certain agreed date. He was in that house for a decade and he finished them. By God's grace, an old man who was like a neighbor, God gave him power and wisdom to see right through someone who was finishing a family. And by God's grace, I was untouched because I was not part of the initiative plan or how it started. I was just a maintenance person. I love you. God loves you more. You must discern and be careful out there. Evil knows no bound. I love you. God loves you more. Stay blessed.